sometimes I get I get I guess drawn into conversations and things that I hear, and a lot of times they're like not really relevant to anything going on. It could be anything. And so recently I was noticing like people were talking about Ciara, and if you don't know who she is, she's a hip hop vocalist. Ciara, I think she started when she was younger, singing back about 20 years ago. I would say about 20 years ago she started singing, and she took off in hip hop, and she would do collabs, and she was real into like that real urban beat. She's still, you know, very much into the hip hop world. And when she took off, she was like singing little songs like Goodies and Get Up, and which I thought like Get Up was like, for her it was a come up, because Goodies was like, you want my body, and you want the things, and and she was like talking about how she was looking for high value men, and it was like real kind of trashy. And like, so when she sang Get Up, it was like a dance thing, and I thought, wow, that's like a come up from what she was doing. But when I saw the video, she was breakdancing and throwing it back, and so I was like, well, okay, it is what it is. So I guess a lot of people, because her voice is soft than the rapper's voice, they think like, oh well, we gotta hold her to a higher standard, and also she has to be that for me. Anything goes, right? Because it's like mass of people who are just trying to lighten their lives up, and trying to relax and chill and take, get a vibe, and just listen to some music, and instead of watching out for what they're consuming, instead of like saying, well, my children are gonna hear what I'm listening to in the car, I'm gonna turn it off. The possibility of them being exposed to the dangers of pop culture, urban lifestyles, and especially hip hop situations, the way they end, they're not very it's not a positive outcome. She came up, and so I think for a lot of us, we're listening to this stuff, and we're following her, and we're seeing her getting in interviews, and walking the red carpet. Her relationships are public. She's a mom now, and she still hasn't changed. Her music has gotten raunchier. So recently she was criticized for that message, that women need to be independent from men, that they need to be have a capitalist lifestyle, to where they need to find themselves in a situation where they continue to idolize people like her, and I guess thereby support her in her career, but the hip-hop lifestyle. And so she shows up to the red carpet with her husband, an NFL player, and she's wearing really a thong and nothing else. Like, a swimsuit would have covered more. And so she has her see-through dress on. It's like, like less than a pool cover, and everything's out there. For me, it's like she didn't have to do all that, but at the same time, she wants to make a splash in the industry. So of course she would pull something like that. They call her a cougar. So I guess that's her way of showing off, showing up the younger girls, showing off her man, showing off what she's got to offer. she's on her second marriage. She's got her second baby daddy. The first one, I think she like stole him from some other girl, and the girl was, you know, I believe he has other children, and so it was just an all around bad thing what she did. But she did take somebody's baby daddy out of his house, out of their home, and she ended up with him. Then she had this horrible breakup with him. It was very public. It was very petty. She ends up with this younger guy, and she has kids with him, and everybody's like, you know, what she's portraying as a wife, that role is not, it's not cutting butter. She's barely even, you know, she's doing the bare minimum. She's getting by with less, and she thinks that her image is popping. I think, you know, what she's doing in her home, she feels like she's, you know, worthy of, you know, having the same life as the next woman who's just a regular girl, and she's wants to prove that, you know, I can have what you have, I can have what y'all, you know, I can do what y'all do, and at the same time look down her nose and say, hey, look at this money. But really, she finessed and hustled her way up to success. Really, had it been today when her career started, people would have said, you know what, this is a hood rat, let's not, and continue about their way. You know, her relationship is her business, and I respect what goes on behind closed doors. And when you have a home that's where one person doesn't want to do that, play the roles, the other person does, that's never a good thing. When one person is making the effort, the other person doesn't want to make the effort, it's clear as day. That's not popping. That's not a relationship. That shouldn't even, you know, be called anything really. It's an arrangement. It's like what they call a TV marriage. It's very much has to do with, you know, I'd say it has to do with her age, maybe the difference in age. Maybe, I don't believe that she entrapped him, but I do believe that maybe her having kids played a role in them, you know, staying together. Outside of that, you know, it's devalued because of what she has to offer is kind of less and lower in quality. You can't be trained to be a wife. You cannot, and that's bottom line. You can't be trained to do things like that. You just want to do them. If you don't want to do them, back out, because this is not something that's to be played with. It's not an acting role. This is not something like a situation that you want people to be exposed to that are vulnerable. And you know, you definitely don't want this toxic environment. The home is something that you don't touch, and so a lot of things that we're exposing ourselves to, we're consuming, and also we're backing with the American green dollar, and that's not okay. Modern women spinning plates. This day and age, you know, they wanna go out, they wanna have fun, they don't want responsibilities, they want to have the perfect life. They want to be glamorized as being iconic, and you know, they want to be idolized. At the end of the day, it's very much a selfish, greedy thing. They really care a lot about money, and so when they're spinning plates, it's selective mating, and they're really just trying to outdo the next girl because they have no real values. And so when they're looking, they're gonna do pull a Sierra, you know, they're gonna find somebody else's man. They're gonna find, you know, a man that's on his purpose. They're gonna find a man that's doing the most for his people, and they want to be portrayed as the faithful, loyal woman, but also they don't want those roles. They don't want to be um, held responsible or to any esteem that they need to be working and continuing putting in effort. So modern women spin plates, you know, that's the easiest way for them to come up, to be to go viral, to be trending, to be, you know, popping on the gram, to have Facebook friends. They want drama, they want clout, they want very much to be part of a conversation, a negative narrative. They want that because they want to be the queen of what they do. They can continue doing what they do without hesitation and continue doing what they do without being having a fear of being canceled. Traditional women glamorizing feminist ideologies. Okay, traditional women, um, they're those women that you see with the Little House on the Prairie dresses, talking about cooking. They're the ones that talk about finances in the home. They're very much pro, you know, they're very much pro crypto and banking and Wall Street, but also they're very much into um, trying to stay tradcon right and be self-righteous, even because they want, you know, they want to continue being in a home where they are the main star, where they are the focus, the focal point of any conversation. They want to make sure that their name is, you know, reputable. They want the respect in society, but they don't want people to say, hey, you know what, you're doing too much, you're being extra, you're kind of bossy and pushy, or that's a little too conservative, you know, you need to tone that down. Because we can see right through that, you know. You can sit here and say that you want to be the breadwinner, the chef, and, you know, the baby maker, but you can't do that. You know, you can't do all that by yourself. It takes two. So this is very feminist. It takes two to keep a household. It takes two to back a home with money. It takes two. It takes two to get a meal for every mouth on the table. It takes two. It takes two, you know, it takes two to make a baby. So what are you talking about? They're just breathing dead air. You know, they're really on talking points. And this feminist ideologies, you know, well, we know them in pop culture as pink pill philosophy. We know this as extreme feminism, tradcon. These are not talking points that a normal person has. You can't have one thing and then expect another. This is not rational ways of living, thinking, or putting, you know, a family unit through. Traditional women, you know, they're modern women. This is toxic. You know, you can't go one extreme. You gotta stay grounded, you know. I really do think that celebrity relationships are very TV marriages. They're very selective mating, selective breeding. You know, I think that a lot of times they don't think things through. They just want somebody with money. They just want somebody with the, you know, the spotlight on them. They want something that's very respected in every home, you know, and they know, they're very much self-aware that, you know, behind that TV screen there's going to be people, there's going to be eyes watching, there's going to be viewers, and they want to be on it, they want to be viral, they want to be trending, they want to walk the next red carpet. They're selling this stuff. It's just a, it's like a, you know, it's just a, it's a, almost like a gimmick. It's you know, it's fake. If you feel like, oh well, I can relate to them, this is fake love that they're selling you. They don't really care what you're doing and how good you're doing it. They don't really care what you think about them. The more normal this narrative, the more accepting this world is going to be, and you know, the more people are going to tune in, and they're going to be funded and backed in very, very skewed views of real normal lifestyle is. And you know, they don't care that there's children involved, and that's very sad. They don't care who else is involved. They don't care what they're exposing us to. They don't care what the people are seeing, what the people have bought into. They don't care that, you know, they're sponsored by real money. There's people that, you know, run these things that, you know, help build these empires, you know, and they're based around pop culture icons, and many of them, like I said, are people who could care less about, you know, having an actual respectable image. I hope you enjoyed my show.